and I welcome you to my live. And today we have an interesting story. We want to look upon it in a short way. Some people may ask me that why do I speak about America most? I speak about America because America is a leading nation and there are a lot of things to learn from America. That's why I am speaking much about America. So today we want to look upon this topic, very interesting one. That let's try to imagine. Try to imagine the world without America. What would happen, or what the world would have been if the America was not there? Or try to imagine now that we remove the America from the world map, that we remove America from the world map. How and what would happen in the world if America was not there? What would have happened if America was not there? What is your opinion? For those who like America and for those who hate America, we want to establish a discussion here that it doesn't benefit the world for America being there, or it does benefit the world for America to be there. What is the role of America in the world? What is the role of America into the world? So we want to look upon this topic, and you are welcome again to our channel. We ask you to subscribe to our channel, to share, and to like. Also, we want to engage with you in comments and whatever means you can use to communicate with us. We want to establish a movement. We want to establish a community. We want to establish a well-educated people and aware people, especially across Africa, where there is a need of doing great things in Africa. So we want to invite you, and we want to cooperate with you. We want to speak with you. We want to look upon this topic, that try to imagine the world without America. Would it be better if America was not there, or America will be no longer there, or it can be a disaster for a world to be without America? So there are people who hate America, but always I say, some people use American technology to oppose America. Some people use American way, American means to fight against America. So, what is your opinion? For those who blame the America, for those who cry that the Americans are the number one problem, or are the one who causes problem around the globe, because there are people who believe that all their problems are either caused by America, or if not America, by Israel. There are people who believe that. For all their problems, they want to believe that their problems, the source of their problems, is America or is Israel. So I want to ask you, those who hold such kind of view, that if America was not there, all your problems will be solved. If America was not there, would there be peace in Middle East? Is it that America is a single source of all the problems that the nations across the globe are experiencing, especially our brothers from Middle East or from Asia, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and other places of the world? Is it that is America only the source of all these problems? So if America was not there, would there be peace in those nations? Do we believe that if America was not there, would there be peace in those nations? For sure, we cannot deny that America has time and time again, caused some problems across the globe, because America also is not a perfect nation. It has its own weaknesses, and it has made some mistakes around the globe. But to believe that all the problems of other nations are a result of America, this is not true. America is not a single source of most problems in other nations. Most problems of other nations are caused by the people from the same nations, especially in Middle East there and Asia. Most of their problems are caused or originates from the policy and the system of leadership and rulership they have chosen. How they have chosen to run their own nations is what causes problems. But they transfer problems, and most of leaders from developing nations, to hide their incompetence, they want to transfer problems and blame people from far away there in America and sometimes Israel, that is it that America is a source of their own problems. For example, our brothers in South Africa, the ANC can rush to accuse or to condemn America, yet they are doing nothing. They are doing nothing to help their neighbors. In Rwanda there, in Congo. So some readers from these developing nations, they have discovered that for some people in your nation to see you as a champion, you must rise and put yourself in a position like that you are anti-American and you are fighting the Americans. So people will take you as a hero to your nation. But for sure, this is not true. It is not true that all the problems of your nation, if you cannot put running water to your people, you cannot ensure best social services, you cannot solve the poverty problem in your nation, the security problem in your nation, unemployment problem in your nation, and other problems in your nation. So you transfer your problems, you transfer blame to America. This is a skill that it is a science that most readers from developing nations have mastered. Some readers, incompetent readers, and irresponsible readers, they are supported by the, I can dare to say, the ignorant masses, because they portray themselves as a hero, as champion. For example, let us take example, Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe was a very good man, of course. He fought for freedom in Zimbabwe, but the way he started is not the way he ended. He started well, but as the day goes on, I don't know whatever happened. I don't know what happened to him. So I can dare to say he changed, and it didn't well. It didn't end well with Zimbabwe. So for you to be a best leader, I am now speaking to developed nations. For you to be a best leader, you don't need to be a good leader. For you to be a best leader, you must fight. You must oppose America, the US. It doesn't make you a good leader. You be a best leader by helping your own people. Because most leaders from developing nations, they are irresponsible. They don't care about their people. They don't respect human rights. They don't respect democracy. They don't improve people's life. So to hide their incompetence, they have mastered this skill of blaming outside nations, especially America and sometimes Israel, for their own incompetence. That is what I see the ANC have mastered. They blame America. For example, they have rushed to condemn the military operation that America conducted in Venezuela. But I have not seen them condemning Saudi Arabia bombing Yemen. Because recently Saudi Arabia has bombed Yemen. And you cannot see the ANC complaining about this. But they rush to oppose it. Why? Because they know their days are numbered, and South Africans have started to discover their scam and their incompetence. They are not improving people's lives. They are not improving South Africa. South Africa is going downward. So they have discovered for them to stay in a game, for them to be relevant to their society, they want to use these scars, these memories of imperialism and apartheid and oppressions. So the ANC, they want to portray themselves that they can handle the global scale problems, yet they cannot help. They have failed to improve the life of South Africans. South Africans are being killed by gun violence. Thousands and thousands of South Africans die yearly by gun violence. GBV is rampant in South Africa. Immigrants. So South Africans have started to discover that this ANC, even if they look like us, and this is why I don't support people based on their color, that because we're black, I will support you. And I pray that we black men, we should learn. We should learn. You cannot keep promising about success of 60 years, that we fought the colonialists, that we expelled the whiteys. No, we want development. We want change. We want freedom. We want rule of law. We want democracy. We want best social services. We want our kids to go to better schools. We want to go to better hospitals. We want better roads. So, some leaders in these developing nations, they have mastered this skill and this science. I think it is a political science, I don't know if it is a political science or whatever, that for you to be a champion, it's portray yourself that you can fight the America. You have not even solved the problem in your own nation. And you want to fight the America? I don't know if you can succeed. So I try to imagine the world without America. It could be a total disaster. For me, I dare to say. And if America can fall one day, some people will realize the contribution and the importance of America in the world. Once America will be not America, we know some people, especially Christians and other people, will realize that America was a good nation. America had a very, very important contribution to the world. Because some people just follow the mass, blaming the American, especially Christians. You don't know what you're doing. Yes, America sometime under some leadership, like the Democrat, has been pushing some irrelevant and toxic and dangerous agendas, like this issue of LGBTQ and others. Yes, for sure, they have been doing that. But America remains #1 support of Christianity and the gospel across the world. So the world without America, for sure, for me, I dare to say, it will be a total disaster. It will be a disaster. A world without America will be a total disaster, especially for Christians. Once the America will fall, you will realize what America has been doing around the globe. Maybe God will rise help by other means, but we don't know. But if America falls, people will realize that America was a very, very, very important nation in the world. So we want to look about some importance of America into the world. If America falls, what can happen? What will happen if the US will no longer be the US we know? What can happen if the US falls? First of all, tyrannies, dictatorship, evil regimes, strong men, or whatever you say, will be all over the world. America has been helping to stop evil regimes, to stop tyrannies. This is what they did to Hitler and to Nazi in the First World War and Second World War. They stopped this crazy ideas. So if America is not there, it will pay a way. It will open doors. It will create opportunity for tyrannies, for dictators, for radical leaders to rise in the world. Try to imagine if America was not there. Try to imagine leaders like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, whom he doesn't believe in any God. Try to imagine nations like Iran. If America was not there, even the Middle East would not be the Middle East that we know, because these tyrannies could have overthrown these weak kingdoms like Jordan, like Saudi Arabia, and other nations. They would cause chaos. So if America was not there, America has helped to calm the situation in the world. America has been helping for years to stop these tyrannies. Imagine Putin without America. Imagine China without America. Imagine North Korea without America. Imagine Iran without US. If United States was not there, these tyrannies, these people who don't believe in God, they don't believe in democracy, they don't believe in other values, they could have caused a lot of problems. Constant wars, killings would be rampant across the globe. So America has been a force that has helped to cool down some problems. Though sometimes we blame them that they are causing wars in different parts of the world. Yes, maybe it is true, but if America was not there, tyrannies, dictators, strong men, and evil regimes would have caused a lot of problems in the world. So for America to act as we call the world police or police has helped to defeat tyrannies, to defeat radical leaders, to defeat and to stop the world into falling into chaos, into evil systems like communism. If without America, Europe could not have managed to stop the USSR. But because of America, it helped to stop the USSR and other nations. Imagine, as I said, Kim Jong-un. Imagine a nation like Iran, if it was powerful than America, what would happen? They would force all of you to be Muslims. They could have conquered the whole world by force and try to make you Islam. That could have happened. So America has been helping to cool the situation across the globe, to make a world a better place to live. Yes, there are still tyrannies in some places, but once America is there, it creates at least some sort of fear for them to implement their ideology full. So, if America was not there, it could have been a disaster for many peoples. So America has been helping to cool some situations across the globe. Again, America is a #1 nation, is a leader in fighting radical faiths, like some sort of Islam that supports terrorism. Imagine Daesh or Islamic State. Imagine Al-Qaeda. Imagine Al-Shabaab. If it wasn't for America to defeat ISIS, guess what would have happened? What would have happened if it wasn't for America to defeat them? So America has been a #1 nation to fight terrorism. Though sometimes in the way of fighting terrorism, they have harmed innocent people, but also it has helped to save, to preserve lives, innocent people, innocent lives has been preserved, has been saved because of America. Even nation like Saudi Arabia knows, they know well, they know clearly that America has been a help nation for them. Because if it wasn't for America, maybe Iran could have overthrown this nation, could have abolished their kingship and established their own way of leadership they favor, and that is Islam, as they lead in Iran. Excuse me, in Iran. So America has been a leader in fighting this radical, and sometimes I find Christians opposing the America. Yes, of course, you are free to express your concern and to stand with anyone. You are free. But for example, do you support North Korea, you as a Christian or as a Muslim, yet you are not allowed to worship free in Korea or in China? You are a Christian and you stand with China than America. I don't know the reason behind for me that I can stand with China and stand against the America. I don't know. Of course, you are free to believe in anything or to support anyone, but strategically, in America there is freedom of worship. In China there is no freedom of worship. I can go in America and preach to anyone in America, preach to gays, to anyone, to artists, to anyone. I can preach in American street, preach to anyone, but you cannot do so in China. You cannot go in China, downtown Shanghai, and pick your Bible or your Quran and start preaching there. It cannot happen. You will be deported. And if you are luck, you will be deported. If you are not luck, maybe you can disappear or you can be jailed. So America has been a front runner, a front line nation to fight these radical faiths like terrorism and other different sects of faith that causes problem to people. So if it wasn't for America, if America is not there, expect these radical faiths will spread across the globe, and some will cause problems. Many people's life will be lost because of this radical faith. But again, think about terrorism. What if America was not there? Where would have this war against terrorism ended? Because there is no nation in the world that can fight terrorism like America. Israel can do it, but Israel is not bigger like the USA and has not means and tools like the US do. So USA has been leading the world in a fight against terrorism. Also, I believe terrorists fear America. Of course, they fear also other nations like Israel, like England, and France and other, but they fear America. So the fight of terrorism, the fight against the terrorism that America has been doing, it has helped to make a world a better place to live. So if America was not there, terrorism could have spread out of control across the globe. But they fight, though sometimes they have harmed innocent people. Yes, we confess that in any war or in any battle, sometimes innocent lives get lost, properties and other interests of people get affected, but their fight against terrorism has helped to preserve, to save more lives of innocent people. If it wasn't for America to fight against terrorism, terrorism could have been out of control, because there is no nation in the world that can fight terrorism and has a will to fight terrorism. Because some nations, they have power But for whatever reasons, for whatever reason they have, they don't have will to fight terrorism like America for their own reasons. Maybe they want to be politically correct, as Trump says, or they want to please some people, or by their own interests. They don't want to fight terrorism. They are weak against terrorism. They sympathize, they appease terrorists. Some medias, they can't even call people terrorists. Even if they are convicted by a court, but they cannot call them terrorists. They use this word guns, gunmen, militant, or militia, or from both sides. So they say things like that. But they have fear, or for whatever reason, they want to fight terrorism. So if America was not there, terrorism could have caused a lot of problems. For sure, terrorism has caused a lot of problems, but because of America will and tools and ability to fight terrorism, it has helped to cool the situation in different parts of the world. Imagine the ISIS. If it was not for America to fight them, to eradicate them, imagine Al-Shabaab, imagine Boko Haram, imagine these terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. If it wasn't for America to fight them, they could have even defeated some nations. Imagine nations like Lebanon. If it wasn't for Israel and America, this Hezbollah could have overthrown the Lebanese government long ago. So the will, the tools, and the ability, the intelligence of America to fight terrorism has helped to solve this issue across the globe. Yes, terrorism is still there, and it will be there to terrorize people, but their pursuit against the terrorists, has helped to calm the situation, to defeat some bad organizations and terrorists like Osama bin Laden and others. But again, concerning faith, America, I can dare to say, is the only nation remaining that defends Christians. Our friend in Europe, they have compromised. You cannot see UK fighting. And when I say defending Christians, I don't mean that we should go back to crusades and we should go back to fight a religious war or whole war. No. But why defend Christians? Because Christians are the most persecuted people. Maybe if you remove Jews, are the persecuted religion across the globe. There are nations and nations where you cannot carry a Bible. The Bible is almost banned. Faith is restricted. Freedom of faith is not there. Christians are being killed for just being Christians in most parts of the world. So America is still the nation standing that defends freedom of worship, especially for Christians. So for you Christians who oppose America, sometimes I don't understand you. What do you want? Because America funds almost 80% of missionary activity and Christian issues, causes, mission activities, gospel preachings, books, and whatever. It is America that funds it. So I don't know, what do you want? What do you expect from America? Maybe sometimes there are crazy leaders. Yes, as a whole, America as a nation, despite some positions of some leaders and their belief, these atheist leaders who pretend to be Christians, but they are not Christians, so sometimes they cause harm, they force people to believe in some issues that are not acceptable in the Bible. But generally, America has been a source of success of Christians around the globe. Also, they protect Christians. Recently, we see Israel saying that it will rejoin this war against bias, against the Christian persecution. But America has been a #1 nation to help Christians around the globe, because Christians are persecuted in many places. Christians are being killed in Nigeria. Christians are being killed in Pakistan, vandalism, disadvantaged. Sometimes are being taken as second citizens. We have seen them being misjudged for no reasons. Christians are being killed in Congo. Christians are being segregated even in Europe. And sometimes even in America, we have seen some preachers being prosecuted for just opposing some people and some things that are not biblical. So we see persecution of Christians in many places around the globe. So America has been helping to calm the situation in different nations. So imagine how Christians would live in a world without America. There are people who have faith. They will say that America is not God, yes, but God uses leaders, uses nations, uses peoples to implement his own interests. That's why God used the Gentile kings to rebuild Jerusalem, to rebuild the temple. He even used the Romans in the time of Jesus. So God uses nations. So God has set America. For me, I believe it is God who decided to raise America so that it can make sure that his interests and kingdom are advanced in the world. So imagine the world without America, how Christians would live in this world, how Christians would be. So, my friends, we should not just accuse and blame following the mass, but also we should examine carefully that what would happen if America was no longer there. If America falls, what will happen to Christians? Eh? If America falls, because America is the only nation remaining that at least they defend Christians. They defend all religions and they give freedom for religion. But Christians are the most people I can say disadvantaged, because there are no Christian nations to speak maybe in the UN. Our brothers Muslims have more than 22 nations of Arabs and Islamic nations that they can defend their people. They can raise issues in the United States, in United Nations. But Christians, they have no nation that defend them. So, in my opinion, in my view, America is the only nation remaining. Germany cannot do so. France cannot do so. And even if they have some ability, they don't have will to do so by their own reasons. UK cannot do so by whatever reasons, by their own interests. You don't hear leaders from UK, from German, from France, that we will defend Christians. No, they have chosen their own path for their own political interests and benefit. So America is the only nation that defends Christians. We have seen what they have done in Nigeria, and now we hear that there are some changes. There is alarm. They sounded an alarm in Nigeria by conducting an airstrike against terrorists. Even the Nigerian government woke up to start protecting people. So America has been doing a good job to at least advocate for freedom of worship and protect Christians around the globe. So if America was not there, I don't know how Christians would live. I don't know how Christian lives would be if America was not there. But for me, America is good for especially Christians. Any other religions, America is good because they have been opposing this radical terrorist. It has been fighting terrorists. It has been fighting tyrannies. It has been advocating freedom of worship. America has given best songs in modern times, best preachers, best Christian movies. America has been giving everything, even literatures, books, Bibles. Most of them are printed in America, and they are sponsored by organizations in America. So if America falls, or if America was not there, I cannot imagine how Christians would live in this world, because America is the nation that defends Christian. America stands with Christian, especially the Democrat. The Republicans. The Democrats are not doing good about this, but at least the Republicans, they do care about Christians. They do care about Christians. So I cannot imagine how the world would be without the American, how Christians would live in this world. Christians would be persecuted. And for those Christians who hate America, I tell you that one day, if America would fall, try to imagine if a nation like Iran would have power, at least like France, or at least like German, or at least like England. What would happen? Because these people want to spread Sharia law. They want to spread their ideology. They want to export. They want to globalize the intifada. Now try to imagine these people who don't want other religions, those people who believe that their God has commanded them to fight other religions. These people who call you haram, they call you kafir. Try to imagine if America was not there, how the lives of Christians would be around the globe. So, for me as a Christian, I support America for many reasons. And this doesn't mean that America is right and America is perfect. No, every nation is wrong. And every nation in some sorts or in some way is right. But what I say is a general characteristics that America has been doing good. America has been doing good in protecting people's freedom, in protecting Christians across the globe, around the globe. So, if America was not there, Christians would live in chaos. Christians would be being slaughtered like chickens. But because of America, It helps to calm the situation, to cool down these issues. But America also has given us many things: best movies, songs, for those who like songs, companies like Google, like Facebook. Try to imagine the world without America. So Facebook, iPhone, Google, ChatGPT, Instagram, Twitter. This is American technology that has helped a lot of people. Students, Google has helped a lot of students. So America has given us this. So we should not hate America. We should like America. Yes, they have their own problems, but that doesn't mean that doesn't make them for us to pray that America would collapse, as many people want to say, want to pray. Many people pray this. They wish America would fall. But those who wish America fall and those who fight America to fall, they have their own agenda. For example, Iran wants to spread, to export their ideologies. So in the Middle East, they see Israel as an obstacle. Global-wise, they see America as an obstacle. That's why they cry louder. They don't want America. They cry, they say, oh, this and this. They innovate some issues to try to portray America as a bad nation. But those who hate America, they have their own agenda. The Chinese have their own agenda to hate America. The Russians have their own agenda. The Muslims have their own agenda. Iran has their own agenda. They hate America because America is denying them an opportunity to spread, to globalize the intifada. So, for me, I continue to pray America should continue leading the world, and America should be voting in best leaders who understand God, those who understand how things works. So, God bless America, God bless Israel, God bless Africa. We pray for America to be a righteous nation. Let a revival come in America, and its leaders, may them be given wisdoms and techniques and commandments to continue ruling according to God's purpose, so that God will continue to bless the U.S. The U.S. This is what we are praying. We are praying for America, because America is good for the world, both politically, both religious, both technologically, and everything. America has been doing good. They have given us a lot of things. We should be thanking them, instead of just roasting them, accusing them, bad naming them, giving them every bad name, every accusation, every kind of failure in other places of the world is attributed. This is not right. So God bless America. God bless you, my friend, wherever you are. I beg you to subscribe to our channel so that we can continue engaging each other for the better future, especially in Africa. God bless you and have a good moment, a best start of the year, and may God protect you from any harm and from disaster and from danger. Thank you and goodbye.